So we're on the switches now. Probably about switchback number 10.
A month and a half, 6 weeks.
Filled up with some water from a spring here, which Adam assures me is perfectly fine. Somewhere over there.
Ride.
And we're going to aim for switchback 50, see how we go, but it's really tough, guys. I don't think I'm quite going to make the summit, so maybe next year. Check out the view though. Awesome. Woohoo! Whitney's somewhere up there, God knows where. You'll see it later on. Even if I don't make the summit, I'll take a photo for you. So I fill up with about 3.5 litres of liquid, which unfortunately weighs the pack down back up to about 20 pounds, I'd say, at this point. Tell you what, these switchbacks are really hard work. You really don't want to do these unless you have to. We're probably not even halfway up yet, and they are grueling. They just go on and on. Interesting, there's not a lot of people around. There's a few people up ahead of us. I'm assuming there might be a whole lot maybe up ahead of us up at the summit. We might start passing them as we get further up the hill. Not many people have come up from behind. But the weather's beautiful, that's the main thing. A couple of tiny little clouds that aren't going to give us any trouble up there. Around there. And there's plenty of snow there. So if we need to cool down, we can just jump over there somewhere. Get to the point soon after we filled up with the water where I just aim for 10 more switchbacks, and then I reward myself with a little bit of a rest. So I do this for a little bit, although you lose count very easily with the switchbacks. Then I decide, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make the whole trip. Not even sure if I'm going to be able to make Trail Crest at this stage. It's really tough. So I decide, well, let's just aim to get to the cables. I think they're around about halfway up the switchbacks. That may not be exactly right, but somewhere around there. Well, as you can tell, we're at the infamous cables. Bit of snow around, but it doesn't look too bad. So hopefully we'll cut with these all right. Adam's waiting for me up ahead. I'm a bit slow. It's very, very grueling, very grueling. Don't try this unless you're in tip-top shape. Wasn't as bad as I thought, the cables. Got through them, and then I thought, wow, it's pretty good to come this far. You know, I really want to push myself to try and get to the end of the switchbacks and to Trail Crest. So you look up and it's still a long way to go just to get to that point, let alone Mt Whitney way up there in the distance. So how are you doing, Adam? You feeling good?
Easy peasy. I mean, if you'd slow down the pace a little bit so that I could keep up with you, I'd be doing great.
I'm just trying to be considerate, you know. I know you've got that bike ride coming up. I don't know where you're at for that.
Yeah, good move.
I think it's about this stage we may have come across a few people going down the switchbacks who had already summited for the day. Okay, so we've passed the 99 switchbacks. Hooray! And we've made it to Trail Crest. So I'm ecstatic about that. This is pretty awesome to get this far. You know, I'm satisfied to get this far. I'm feeling really buggered, so I'm tossing up whether I'll call it quits at this point. How about we just try a little bit further around this corner? It actually goes downhill, so there's no point in stopping now. I might as well give the downhill part a try. Might get a second wind. But the scenery is beautiful. I mean, it's been worth it just for this view right here. Right here, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Woohoo! this point we also noticed some grey clouds coming in, as well as a little bit of thunder, and eventually we saw a little bit of lightning. So this was playing on my mind a little bit. Adam didn't seem to be too concerned, and kept going on and encouraged me to follow him. I watched the clouds, the dark clouds, for a while, and most of the dark clouds were not moving towards Mt Whitney. Even though they were reasonably close, they were moving in a slightly different direction. So I thought, okay, we might be all right here. Around about this point, I come across Joe and Gary. Joe, who I'd met through the Whitney Portal website, and we'd sent a few messages to each other, and thought that we might cross paths on the switchbacks. I think Joe worked out that it was me. He said, "Are you Greg?" Yep. So it was great to meet you, Joe, up there, not that far from the summit. This had been a very grueling day so far, harder than I'd imagined. My heart surgery operation was just over 1 year ago, but thanks to the support of my family and friends, the fantastic cardiac rehabilitation program at the Sydney Adventist Hospital, and my practice hikes on the Bobbin Head Trail in Sydney, I was about to accomplish the goal I'd set myself on May 21, 2008, when I first sighted Mt Whitney. There it is, the summit hut, just a couple of 100 yards away. Gives me a little bit of motivation, a little bit more energy. I battle on, a couple more rest stops. Well, this is Jordan and Adam and Greg reporting in from the top of Whitney. I'm exhausted. There's rain and thunder around, we've got to get going, but just to prove we did it, check this out. Thanks to all those who helped make this possible for me, all my doctors, Dr. Chard, Professor Chard, Dr. Washington, Dr. Humphrey, good on you. Woohoo! Now we're going to get down safely. Thank you, Adam. You really encouraged me along. If it wasn't for you, there's no way I would have made it. So I've got to hope you get me back down safely. I still tell myself the job's only half done. We've still got to get back safely. It's a long way back. As well as Adam and me, I think there's only about 4 other people on the summit at this time. I'm pretty sure we were the last ones to actually arrive at the summit that day. As on the way back we passed no one else coming up. We didn't stay on the summit too long, because those clouds were very threatening. There was thunder around, and it was already about 3 o'clock. So we took a few photos. I did a quick video diary, and then we headed back down. Going down towards Trail Crest, it takes a long time. You don't realise how far and how high you climbed up. It's also a long way down, and that's just a Trail Crest. Well, we're well down the switchbacks now. I'm feeling a lot better because it's downhill. Seriously, I have no idea, whichever peak that is over there, I have no idea how I possibly made it to the top. It's a long way from here, and we're not even halfway down. Probably a third of the way down. It's insanity. Yeah, a lot of factors have to be on your side to have a successful summit on Mt Whitney. The weather especially, how your body reacts to the high altitude, how you're feeling on the day. My legs are really starting to hurt at this time. I'm really exhausted. But the sniff of getting home getting some food and getting to bed just motivates you to keep going. The sun was setting as we approached Lone Pine Lake, still with 2.5 miles to go. So we had to use our headlamps for the last hour back to the trailhead. I can't believe it, we actually made it, we did it! You little ripper! 6,000 feet elevation gain, 22 miles, 5:30 AM start, 9:23 PM finish. Woo! Thank you so much to Adam, who guided me all the way and encouraged me to keep going. And thanks to everyone else who made this possible. I'm Greg Baker and I feel alive. Woo! Practicing for the next Badwater attempt. Boy, it is so hot out here. Yes, that is 128 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I've been cheering on some of the runners in the Badwater Ultramarathon, seeing that I didn't get an invite this year. Now, it's a pretty grueling race. 135 miles with a 9,000 foot elevation gain. I think it takes them about a day and a half. Nice job. Woo!
Nice job, John. Ow!
I don't know how I'm going to run 135 miles in this heat uphill. So it was pretty much 2 years ago, in fact it was May 21, 2008, when I conceived the idea to climb this mountain. And that day is now here, tomorrow. Now I've conceived another idea to compete in the Badwater Ultramarathon. Now this time I've given myself 10 years because it's such a monster challenge just to get into the race, let alone finish it. So let it be known that at this point right here in time, on July 14, 2010, I have officially declared my goal of officially finishing the Badwater Ultramarathon. So that's going to be pretty challenging though. Watch this space. We're here in Badwater, Death Valley, the lowest point in the US, 282 feet below sea level. Thought we should get in some practice while we're here. So we're going to go for a bit of a run now. I think the race starts somewhere down here. Let's assume it's right there. And got the watch going.